I'd be interested in creating an investment bank with a soul, which is not an oxymoron. And it would be to approach, to have bankers in the community that would have a slightly different bottom line. And the way I would approach it is I would apply, and I take MBA business approach, but also look at it from a humanistic and spiritual approach. And I'm going to briefly talk about the investment process and kind of in the areas of focus. So from an investment process, from the bank that I would create, I think there are a lot of startups. I'm very concerned about what are organizations that need mezzanine financing or intermediate financing. So they've already started up, but they need to be helped. I would look at best in class. I think in some ways there isn't a need for another idea. I mean, there are a lot of ideas out there, but there are a lot of really good organizations out there. Let's have a standard for best in class. And I think it's important. I'm involved in a lot of charities. I've been a board chair of the Children's Museum. I've been involved in the Annenberg Foundation. I think the key for what we're doing is to try to find scalability and replicable ability, or replicable. Like for instance, Lamud is a great example. It can be scalable and replicated. I think cooperation and opportunity is critical. Gary Rosenblatt wrote last week about the MacGyver report, which was a study done like in the 1950s. And it was a study about how there was duplication in the Jewish community. And I think we need to create incentive where organizations work together. It's just tragic when you look at the duplication that goes on, given that we have such limited resources. And then I think it's critical to have matching investment. I think the key is not only money, but resources and access so that we can get to another level. And then ultimately, the overseeing of the investment would be the best professionals in the Jewish community, plus individuals in the private area that have accomplished creating something. And it's not the idea. Everybody has great ideas. The key, there's so many great ideas, it's how you execute and get it done. And I've had experience. I helped launch the Fox News channel. I was like the second employee there. I built a lot of businesses. It really takes both the idea plus the execution to make it happen. And then ultimately, this past year I did a study about the Jewish GDP, looking at the different areas that are that the Jewish nonprofit area focuses on. And I think that we have to do more careful analysis of this and have more transparency in reporting. The areas that I would put money into, and it would be primarily infrastructure plus critical areas. One is media. I did a study about how the different media organizations are really struggling. There's only one media organization that really has a sizable assets, which is the Forward. And it's based on the fact that they owned a radio station that they sold, and they have, I think, like $60 million in an endowment. But like the Jewish Week, the LA Journal, all these different organizations live year to year. So we need to really work better together on that, and we've looked at combining it. Mark Golub has created, I would say it's an incredible asset in the Jewish community. It's called Shalom TV, and he'll speak in a bit. He's a rabbi, and he's had this vision to put a cable channel, and it's free, and it reaches 40 million people. And it's critical to get, he gets a certain viewership, but we need to help him promote it to get people to look at it. Fundraising, there's a lot of money being spent in fundraising, and there's probably better ways to do it in terms of intermediate and kind of middle-level donors. The cost to raise every dollar we should look at and really work out better ways to do that. Day school, I don't know what the solution is, but we need help on that in terms of helping parents pay for it, plus to help raise the quality. And in Hebrew schools, the whole problem with it just being a bar mitzvah factory and what we can do there is important. And then finally, I believe that there's such great wisdom. I've been devoted to trying to find the best, almost like an American Idol of teachers. And I would like to get behind a couple of teachers and really not have them be spokespeople for the Jewish community, but to spread the word about Jewish wisdom. So that's my view of the investment bank of the soul.